Nixixinitsi. That means yes, we are very grateful. Thank you for your presence. But in the native tribe, I'm a storyteller, and I'll tell you a story of my life, and I'll put on my Bob Ross voice because you're painting, and everybody else pull out your imaginary paintbrushes and visualize this story. Paint this story that I'm giving you. So I'm going to give you an introduction. So a part of a storyteller's job is different. What I'm doing right now is cultivating the storyteller energy. That's how I've been taught in the native tribe. So the people that are here are going to witness something amazing. It's different than typical storytelling, because when you are offered, because it's not like a forcing. When I was chose at 7 years old, I had a choice to say no, but I knew better. I just knew there was something that they seen in me that I didn't see myself, and I would like to see what they see. So because I would like to see what they see, I continued on it. But as a storyteller, it's our job to give you the moral of a story. So this isn't an initiation, but this is just to tell you more about storytellers. So this is how you're able to spot out if someone is lying, saying they're a storyteller, part of a tribe. I mean, it's not even something that people even claim, but just in case someone does claim it, this is how you can tell. So a storyteller, is their job to always, one, prioritize the truth, two, give you the moral. And the moral is very, very big. Like you must give a moral and don't just leave it up to interpretation. Three, speak the native tongue. And four, this is kind of like a more woo-woo one, if we say, or a spiritual one. The fourth one in the foundation is movement would be the best way to explain it. When people tell stories, their stories is like this. Okay, when people tell stories, their stories is like that, like their hands just floating out. As a storyteller, my story has to be like this. It can't be like that. It just can't be like that. It has to be like this. As if it's a molding. Because the story is real when it's coming from a storyteller. Not just because it's the truth. It's because it's tangible. That's the power of a storyteller. So, yes, let us begin. Oh, I haven't done this since, wow, that one physical gathering. I haven't done this since then. This might be my first official digital storytelling. I think so. Because I typically save this for like my in-person gatherings. But hey, because you say you were painting, hey, y'all better think six. Because like just when he said he was painting, I just felt this calmness of just the painting. So let's begin. And because I'm fully transparent, I'm gonna let you know the steps of all of this. So I'm introduce it honored. I'm honored because God the source ain't telling me to do this before, but the fact that I feel it now, I just move with the flow. But I'm fully transparent, and by the will of source, everything that I provide, all the information and wisdom, honor and holiness, guide you to clicking the link in the bio and getting our one and only ebook titled "God's Plan for Humanity: A Message for the Mountaintop." When I get deeper into the story, you'll see my energetic energy shift. You'll see, my energetic bodies move and stuff like that. So I'm not going to be able to just pop in and out promoting the ebook that God told me to give to humanity. So I'm going to do it right now. By the will of source. If this moves you, if it brings you to holiness, if you feel connected, I'm another holy child of God. I'm another son of God. I'm another Christ, or as we say, God's will on earth. I'm not the greatest salesman. I never wanted to make a book. But I just listened to God, and then one day the book got made. It's an ebook, so when you click the link in the bio, you're going to immediately get it. And it contains a 3-day course that I've been teaching my students for years. Go to my page and see my testimony to see with your own eyes, to know that I'm telling you the truth. And please, what more can I say? But I'm going to give you my entire life story. Hopefully I can, it's probably been past 10 minutes. But I'm going to give you my entire life story. And by the will of source, this holiness, transparency, honesty, and truth that you see guide you to be like, okay, God, there's absolutely no way that you're sending me your son in this way for no reason. So let me support, and not only just support the son, support myself. For the information is transformation. See testimonies for proof. So in true storyteller fashion, a part of the tribe, we must speak in our language first. I want to say a divine statement of gratitude in the language, and then I'll just start off with the story of my life. And this might go off well, God. Depending on how this goes, we might be able to make this a thing. But let's see. And forgive me if it goes any other way. I've never done this through technology, but we're going to see it if the same effect happens. Because when I do this in real life or physical, stuff happens. So. I gotta actually put my bare foot on the concrete. We call in God, the source, all beings that are of love and holiness, to be here and now, to reflect your experience as I reflect mine, and as we reflect ours, as we embark in this journey of holiness and truth, as we embark in this journey of remembrance of a soul, remembrance of ourselves. We may start this story of the life of another son of Source, and this story is for those with ears in their hearts and mouths that are closed, for presence is enough for us to converse. By the will of Source, all that are moved reach out to receive the message in form of a so-called book titled God's Plan for Humanity, a Message from the Mountaintop, for it's truly for humanity. And thank you for all the beings of love and holiness being present. We may now begin. Ayo, pesisuki, espamokana, na kayasisinan, na keiki mutsitsinan, na kokamoto sanan, nena, nekesta, na six, kishon, kokomikisho, spokche, mischicks, ki, okich, amoksoki, niksokoex, ayo, pesisuki, niksixinitsi. I am Nadiie, Nadiie Black, as elders call me. This is my God-given name, not the name of physicality. For this name is of a revelation, of an epiphany, a thought that passed not by, but a thought that you latch onto. A thought that turns into an idea that turns into a personality that turns into a characteristic, that characteristic turned into something tangible. This idea is not formed from imagination. As one day I laid upon the couch in a city called Reynoldsburg in a state of Ohio, in a neighborhood called Postwoods. As I laid in this couch, I looked towards the ceiling and said, there's something more for me. I've been astral projecting, I've been speaking with spirits, I've been teaching since 13. But now I'm in the middle of my teenager years, and I asked God, I'm ready. So what does this mean? Raised a Christian with my born name, but raised in holiness as Nadiie. The name Nadiie, N-A-D-I-I-E, is a name that we brought forth, but N-A-D-I-E in the tribe of Blackfoot means wise, in the feminine energies. So we added an extra I Nadiie, to represent balance, for in twos is of the stepping stone, and a balanced beam has those two. Chains and plates to bring forth balance. In the second half of our name, Black, is the representation of the Blackfoot tribe and what Earth calls our skin complexion. So in true native fashion, your name must mean something. What do you bring forth in the earth? Nadiie Black means a wise, balanced black male from the Blackfoot tribe. Now it's far deeper than just what has been brought forth. For what does the Blackfoot tribe represent? Not just what you can see with the tangible eyes of the now, but what's beyond the surface, something you must dig for. This leads us to the beings called the Holy Ones, who came to many native tribes, planted seeds, and those that are the rainbow warriors will awaken. So this is how Nadiie awoke, or brought forth knowledge and awareness of self. Knowing thyself is more than just knowing thy name. It is knowing what you represent, knowing who you are beyond the titles you give yourself. In this earth, the definition is more important than the word the definition represents. Hence why we say, bring forth not attachments to the language, but what the language represents. For when I say love, another may say love is brought forth in a different way audibly, but the frequency of it is the same. One who speaks one language says the word differently than one who speaks another. So as I lay in this couch, I rise once I make my decision that my name is Nadiie, and I immediately start astral projecting. As Nadiie, I make music, loving music, smoke weed with my friends, connect with the spirits, and even say, I must go deeper than this. This brings me towards the bus. For in true history and storytelling, every step and detail matters not if the moral shall be lost. What matters is the phases of the story that are woven together through and with holiness that allow the moral to be present. What is the moral? Know thyself. As I'm on this journey, I suddenly am on the bus. As Nadiie, seeing these repeating numbers, knowing that there's something more for me, but I reject it. At this time, I was a part of the Human Trafficking Coalition, guiding people to recognize that in Ohio, it is number 5 at the time in the human trafficking world. That in Reynoldsburg, Livingston was one of the highest trafficking streets. So as I was in high school, I'm teaching those because the high school is quite literally in the smack dab middle of Livingston. So my second mentor, Mr. McGrady, who actually ran for mayor of Columbus one day, seen something in me, and I became his mentee because he understood my holiness even before I understood myself. And one day as I'm on this bus, I put my head against the back of the seat, trying to forget this world, just moving the processes of typical or what's typical. And then my forehead starts violently shaking, as if God grabbed onto my shoulders and said, "Wake up, boy. You can't ignore this. You're too deep in. You may leave the muddy water, but your pants will be muddy. And if there are no more clothes for you to get, guess what you're wearing forever." So after that experience, I was like, okay, it quite literally, this experience means that I can't ignore none of the spiritual stuff. So then I go. I leave the bus. I tell no one. And then I astral project again. Astral projecting, spirit world. But guess what? Me going throughout this process, going in these spirit worlds, it separated me from the life that I'm supposed to live, which is a balanced life. I was in the spirit world so much, I connected with many friends, many ascended masters bowed to me, many beings called me the Son of God, many did this, many did that. I've met many. But I rejected what I could bring to earth and accepted what I could bring to spirit. But that was the plan. I just had to see it differently. Because when I looked at earth, I seen people value this more than that. So let me value that more than this and then bring back what I value and see if it's valuable. So now this brings me to my first big prayer circle. Interesting. I'm a star seed. Birthday 010101. I tell the children and adults of Postwoods, if you want to celebrate my birthday, we are doing a gathering. Everybody says, here go Nadiie. Nadiie being spiritual again. Is there going to be food? You know, black people. Is there going to be food? Who all going to be there? Is there going to be food? Who all going to be there? There's going to be food, there's going to be music, and there's going to be holiness. Show up. Some didn't, a lot did. And this prayer circle was that firm grounding for me that, this, I could do this. Long after high school. In this real world, but not living by myself, not having any responsibilities. And my cousin was there, my friends was there, the whole hood, everyone was there. We all held hands in a giant circle, and I did something similar to this. Spoke in our native tongue, did energy work. I remember clouds parting and suns just beaming down on us, everybody ooh and ah. And then that's when people recognize something is different. Different in me, but different in them. They recognize the difference, which means they are the difference. From this gathering, that led me to a back and forth with my mother. I'm holy. I gotta be this. And my mom speaking with me and saying, I understand. She calls me her prodigy. And this back and forth, it comes from me being targeted. For a few years after these gatherings, it leads me to 2019 when I did my December fast. 22 days of water and handfuls of fruit. Handfuls of fruit in the beginning for the first 7 days, and after that until the 22nd day, nothing but water. Alkaline water, if you like details. Almost killed me. That's the story for another day. Around this time, though, because I was deepening myself in this knowledge, I became a little more interested in a lot more of bringing esoteric into physicality, because remember, I'm bringing back what I value to see if it's valuable. Bring back what I prioritize in the realms of spirit and see if these earth beings think it's cool. In order to truly do this on this planet, you have to go towards your history. And I did the native thing. I bodied the native thing. I ended up getting a spirit totem. Oma Kichi Panikim. Oma Kichi Panikim. which means hawk in Siksika. Even now, the hawk flies above this house. I have video proof if you would like it. I remember when I was learning about animal totems, this is one of the first magics I did. Will in an animal totem and master. So I, in true fashion, was like, well, if I am another son of God, that means I'm a messenger for humanity. So what animal totem means messenger? Eagle, hawk, falcon. I like hawks, hawk. Very simple. It look cool, that's what it is. For the longest, I thought Horus wasn't a falcon. I thought it was a hawk. That's another reason. But I found out those three birds are like the bird trinity. They all are messengers, and they all work in tandem. So when you master one of them can call the other and say, fill in for my shift. I found that out the hard way. When I called in this hawk one day, as I was taking my daily walk, the kids called me Happy Feet because I walk every day in this neighborhood of Postwoods in Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Walking, happy feet, happy feet, happy feet. Ignore the kids, go left. Now I'm on this trail, I look up, I see this hawk, it's circling in the sky. And then it lands on this sign. And the sign is about 2 feet taller than I am. And I'm like 5'10", 5'11". I say, I was just trying to get a hawk friend. If you are the hawk friend that I'm looking for, I'll follow you, I say. With my frequency and my words follow. When I go to try to pet the hawk in true naive fashion, of course the hawk flies away. But it flies to the nearby tree. The hawk is just there at this nearby tree waiting for me. I walk towards the base of the tree, look up, and then it flies to another tree that's nearby. I walk to the base of that tree, then it flies to another one nearby. And we're playing this cat and mouse game for a very long time, but it seems like its moves are intelligent and strategic. Eventually it leads into the woods. When I lose it, I follow the noise. And then one day, in one moment, I lose it completely. I'm like, what in the world? It felt like forever. That's why I said one day. I was there all day. Sun moving around. I'm like, it's about to go to the nighttime, man. Then suddenly I hear it again. Go deeper in the woods, and then it swooped down, shake its wings, and just disappeared. I said, okay, so obviously that was like something spiritual. So I move over all of these trees, branches, bushes, go to the last known location. It was like this spot of just this pile of leaves. Move the leaves around, and I found the feather it left. Mind you, it disappeared. I'm like, ain't no way this hawk just dropped here and could fly out. No, there ain't no way out. I had to crawl on all knees. Yeah, heads and knees and shoulders, toes, all of that. But I got the feather, and I was like, I think I passed. It gave me a feather. And then not too long after, I get a text message from my sister. Okay, sibling rivalry while she texted me. I check my phone, it's a picture message. See, in this neighborhood, Postwoods, Ohio, 582 Postwoods, Ohio was the address that we had. Postwoods is the neighborhood. And 582, this address is the only address with a railing. All the way in the back of Postwoods. My sister took a picture of our front address because she was afraid to walk in the door. Because why is there a hawk perched on our railing? She immediately knew that it was me because I was just talking to her not too long ago about me trying to make a hawk friend and work with spirit totems because she too is a medicine woman. Both of us was chosen. Nadiie, get your friend. I'm trying to go in the house. Simply right. So now this brings us back to me and my mother bickering back and forth. Because I get targeted. Now, what does this mean for me? I got targeted because I started learning more about esoteric information. I got the hawk now. I want to bring more on Earth, more. Let's see what humans think is valuable. So I go into the land of Kemet and Egypt, and let's see. I'm able to do these magics, if I can enter the spirit world, if these beings call me all of these cool titles, let's see if I can live up to my name. So I start doing intense sun gazing. One eye sun gazing, two eye sun gazing, allowing my hands to form shapes as I look with one eye through the little hole in my hand to form a shape, sun gazing in the sky as if my hand is the telescope. Doing all types of things. Figuring out how to communicate with the sun. The sun communicates through color and frequency. When I'm feeling something, I see certain reds and yellows, and then when I'm communicating, it turns to greens and this. And then as I get deeper in understanding the sun, every time I step outside, my hands get this intense warm feeling in the middle of the palm. And I'm like, wow. Now around this time, the owl spirit totem came to me. I don't really work with owls. I remember taking a walk on the trail one day after doing some intense sun gazing. Bam, owl. I'm like, whoa. And owls, they just be staring at you. I'm talking about, just there. Head moving where you walking. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so big. Owls are like from your foot to Shaq's knee. So from like Shaq's foot to Shaq's knee, that's how big this owl was. I'm like, you are a big owl. Of course, in true Nadiie fashion, I try to walk up to it to pet it. It stopped me, which is with its eyes. I get a little closer. Let me get pretty close, and then it just fly away. But I found out that is an omen. Oh man. Why did this owl come to me? What do owls represent? Owls represent wisdom, but they also are not just messengers, they're teachers. So this particular owl, because I end up having dreams about going to a school and all the beings were owls, the teachers were owls, everybody's owls. They was trying to tell me something about the path that I was heading down, because you're getting pretty deep. Because you are who you are, Nadiie, you're actually capable of doing the things that you think you can do. So you're going to be attracting some things. That's what I found out through the dreams, and why the owl ended up coming as an emphasis. Like, no. I'm coming in physicality to say, hey, keep going, but just know where you're going. Know thyself. Tomorrow. So I get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, all these techniques. And then one day, I just get interested in Tupac. Why is his name Native? Why is this? Why is that? Why is this? Why is that? So interested in Tupac. I go down a spiritual Tupac rabbit hole. Found out that when he scribes things on paper, he uses symbols. Why? I found his last album that he made when he was alive, the notebook paper, because he always envisioned his ideas on notebook paper first before he started the creation of the album. He was drawing a lot of symbols. It was way more spiritual. And on the paper, it was speaking about this album is for those like with their third eye open. Like, it was like literal words like that. And I'm like, well, my third eye's open? Oh my gosh, Nadiie, why are you going down this rabbit hole? That's like me traveling through that rabbit hole, and then I start figuring out symbols have a lot of power. That's why Tupac, when he says the word I, he actually draws an eye, and when he says this word that represents something that he can draw, he draws it. And then I find a video of Lisa Left Eye Lopez. It's a very rare video that probably got scrubbed from the internet, talking about this. Talking about how Tupac was so aware and how he always drew in symbols. And now he said he knew he was going to be connected to someone who's going to come back as Jesus. And because he's seen everything as one, he claimed that for himself. Hence why Machiavelli's album cover is the way it is. So I said, I'm connected to him. They call me a Christ. Ain't no way Tupac knew about this. The moment I made that connection, oh dear, 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 Nadiie, you're getting deeper, deeper, deeper. This is when the triggering started to really settle in. Triggering of those beings. Because the deeper I got, the more esoteric I got, the more pissed off they was. Because out of all the beings on earth, he is the one that will blow the lid on all of this because his mouth is too big. So then one day, and I would never forget it, I was like, well, if symbols are so important, and I just seen a video of Lisa Left Eye Lopez talking about her seeing this Capricorn have this giant sun around him, and Tupac was talking about this Capricorn and this sun. He kept talking about it. I'm a Capricorn. My birthday's 010101. That's my sun's sign. And they call me the son of stars. Ain't no way they talking about me. Oh my God, Nadiie, you're getting deeper in the rabbit hole. So then I scribed, and I did my first sigil magic. And then that was the needle on the camel's back. That sigil magic that I did. When I created my first portal, fast forward, and I'm going to rewind. Fast forward, I got a session from the elder, and the elder tapped in and said, that gift wasn't supposed to come back to Earth as it pertains to their plans. That's why they were so pissed off at you. And now let's rewind, because I know none of this. So I did it, and it's actually something that I teach in my mystery school. I did it, and I was so proud and naive as a kid. Oh, I just did what I've seen all these other people do, but I did it in my cool way, and I hung it up on my wall. In that land, that neighborhood of called Post was, oh my God. Little did I know that was going to lead me down a path of pissing people off. I don't even know if they're really people, they're beings. I hung that on my wall, signed my name at the bottom of the sign, my birth name and my God-given name, man. Said, all right, bet, let's do it. Shortly after this, I find out that I'm actually learning from Ra, the sun god. When I was doing all of this sun gazing, one day I looked up and I seen 7 suns, and I was like, what the heck is this about? I talked to my sister about it, and she just led me down a path of information, and that information that she led me down let me find out that I was actually connected to Ra, the sun god, because only the beings that are on his frequency could see all the suns in the sky. And I was like, well, I'm getting deep. This is all after that portal. Little did I know, when I hung it up and when I created it I immediately shifted out my main reality. So the sister I was talking to was much deeper than usual, knew a lot more about Reiki than usual, knew about these techniques more than usual. I'm like, you're much more knowledgeable. None of it was my actual reality. So one day, shortly after, when I walk out to take my little walk, no more happy feet. The kids aren't coming up to me calling me happy feet, but I'm like, all right, cool. It's a normal day. Just walk to the front of Close Woods, and then I get this eerie feeling. Go back now. So I turn around, and I start walking back. And then I look up in the sky. Tweet, 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 tweet. There are hundreds of birds circling in the sky. I'm like, y'all circling like flies. You know, like a whole bunch of flies, they just be moving and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's odd. Then I get closer, because the way postwoods work when you're walking towards the back is there's a straight path, and there's a path that looks like a P. If you was to draw or visualize a P, you can go to the right that curves all around, that formalize that connection to that straight path, or you can just go down a straight path. Well, as I was going down that straight path, a person came out of his house talking on his phone, but he was saying spiritual stuff like, where is your astral shield? Screaming it loud enough for me to hear. Where is your astral shield? Where is your astral shield? Where is your astral shield? I'm like, okay, he is bugging. I go to that right. I am being naive and willfully ignorant. Okay, I am not dealing with it, honestly. But then I start getting a little frustrated. I'm like, why is things different today? So I start walking back, and then I'm looking at people's windows, and kids and stuff are looking in their windows, and people are looking in their windows as I'm walking past the house. It's like, okay, freaky horror movie. then I got a little frustrated. Just keep walking. I'm like, what is going on? Suddenly, there's like this car that kind of looked like a Cadillac being worked on that wasn't there when I took my trip. Been like barely 10 minutes. So then, I said a negative thought because I'm tired of this. What's going on? The moment I said that thought, somebody come out of the house that was next to me, that I passed, and called me by a different name. It's not my name. Whoa. Looked at me and called me that. Didn't even acknowledge him. Kept pushing. Heart beating through my chest. Then, I hear the name again. I get scared. I walk up to my door, but then I'm feeling the pressure. When I walk up to my door, a black cat comes from behind the house, looks at me, and I suddenly feel the psychic connection. Follow me. Not like follow me, like urgency. I run towards the black cat. And the black cat leads me to the middle of the forest, because how Postwoods work is, in the smack dab middle of Postwoods is a forest, a mini forest. And there's this log in the middle of the forest, and I just sat on the log, and the cat roamed next to me. And there were eyes looking at me from outside the forest. It's like they were looking at me as prey, watching for my next move. I'm looking at this cat and says, thank you for bringing me here and really letting me see what's going on. Gotta get home. So the cat leads me out. When I walk out, I don't see the cat no more. It's like I'm like disappeared. And I start speed walking. I wasn't running. I was speed walking, but I walk pretty fast. So my speed walk is like a very intense run. I get to my door again, and I just feel like I gotta do something good. That negative thing, I said the negative thing, my mind was racing. I said the negative thing, and that happened. I can't be negative. I gotta be nice. I gotta be good. I gotta be good. Look. See trash on the ground. Run up next to the dumpster. Pick up the trash. Throw it away. I just hear people moving now. I look behind a tree, and these people wearing all red just kept coming from behind a tree. About 5 of them, all wearing red, and they speak to me for the first time. You only did that because you see us. Now you can take me out the game. I'm talking about. Whoa there, buddy. You're talking to me. You're saying something that I don't like. I don't like it. I booked and boogied down to that house, okay? Opened my door. The way the Postwoods apartments work, when you open that front door, flight of stairs is right there. Closed the door, locked it. I made sure it was locked. I twisted the lock even a little more. I looked up the steps, and my sister's already standing at the top of the steps. Already have her spiritual bath. Come on. Because she got the call. Okay, Jig is up. He knows he's not in his normal reality. Tell him. Get him back. Ran upstairs. They're trying to. I know. Get in the bath. I get in the bath. All these herbs and stuff is in the bath. She dunked my head in the water. Did the sacred prayer. I come back up. Am I okay? Walk out the door. Because doors are portals. And I was still inside that realm until I walked through the door. I walked through the door. That car that was being worked on is no longer there. Those people that was being worked on that was wearing all red no longer there. The trash was no longer on the ground. My friends lived in the neighborhood. What the heck did I just do? That was my full-blown breakthrough. Full-blown breakthrough. Like full-blown. Now you may have thought, okay, astral projection didn't do it to you? No. You meaning Yeshua didn't do it to you? No. You meaning Ra, the sun god, didn't do it to you? No. You see even 7 suns in the sky didn't do it to you? No. I've been doing this since I was so young. What surprises one person, don't surprise me. What surprised me is I did something that other people just can't do. Not because, like, muscle or something. It's just like, I did the knowledge and the knowledge was done. And I was like, whoa, I did some magic. Like real life. What the heck? But I did not know there was something called residual energy. Let's have a little mini class on residual energy. Residual energy, as pertains to magical-based techniques, means when you successfully complete a magical task, your frequency skyrockets. So, why does that happen? Awareness is key, because I was aware of it actually working. When you see a miracle or see magic actually work, your frequency skyrocket, because any form of doubt and fear just runs away. And now I was resonating at a frequency so high, I couldn't actually maintain it. But because the magical technique was a portal-based one, these beings followed me through it. And how did they find me? Because infinite realities exist. Because my frequency was so freaking high. Because I keep replaying the fact that the portal worked. So now, I'm being tracked. I'm a walking, tracking beacon. If you was to turn your first eye open during this time on Earth, you would see, why is there a giant beacon on Earth? Who the heck done woke up? He woke up. It got so deep. Oh, God, I don't think they feel me. It got so deep, I was hearing people's prayers. Save me, save me, save me. I walk out the house. Kids walk out the house. When I walk out the house, look at me. When I come back in, they run in. When I come back out, they come back out, look at me. When I run in, I'm like, oh my God, am I still in a different reality? God said, no, you're tapping in to Christ consciousness on a new level. I said, whoa. So Jesus had to go through it? Yes. You say you want to be like him. Deal with it now. Everything is talking to me now. The TV's talking to me. The music videos is talking to me. Everything is talking to me. Everything is talking to me. Literally talking to me. I gotta get out of here. So I go through this trial, and it got so intense. I threw everything spiritual away. I said, yo, if I gotta deal with this for the rest of my life, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Honestly, no, I'm cool. Sat down for about 3 months. But during that time, I got sessions from elders, because my sister in my normal reality, she knew what was going on, but she was so shooketh. She was like, Nadiie, I'm seeing what you're seeing, but I can't do nothing about it. That's what I'm being told. And when I try to talk to them about it now, nobody remembers anything. It's like they have amnesia, except for my mother. And my mother jogged my sister's brain. It's like there was like a fog covering their minds until we had to remind them intensely what happened. And they was like, oh, yeah, I do kind of remember that. And now my family knows. I have to wake up my family again. And this elder that I got the session from told me they don't target who they're not threatened by. So if you're targeting as you really be another son of source. But my mother, we're going through trials. My mother, she's trying to help me. Because she is noticing that beings are following us. She knows why, her son. But she knows that I'm completely terrified. I can't speak in full sentences at this point. Oh yes, it got that bad. I'm kind of like paralyzed. I'm kind of like mute. By all intents and purposes, I feel autistic. Like I can't do nothing. I am paralyzed in fear. Too much energy. I can't look no one in the eyes because too much energy comes to me. I see too much now. My mom said this happened to her when she was a kid. She rejected her kids because of this. So it got passed on to her kids. So my mom, she told me that. And her only prerogative was, you're not going to fail like I did. And did I even really fail? Because you're the one that it got passed on to. So I didn't fail. I just did what I could with it and passed it on. And she took me around. I remember this day. My mom said, let's go on a trip. I said, but Mom, let's go. She took me to the African place. She said, play Bob Marley. Play nothing but Bob Marley. Play nothing but Bob Marley. Listen to Bob Marley. Only Bob Marley. Keep listening to Bob Marley. Fuel your mind with love. Ecstasy does. Going in. Many people would try to strike you down when you see Jala echoing. But let me tell you, if you're not wrong, then everything is all right. So I'm moving, I'm traveling, the hair shop, going to all these places, people looking at me. Then we get to Meyer. And this is when they try to strike again. I'm not looking no one in their eye. My mom said, baby, you see him? I said, yes. She said, you're going to have to deal with it. I can't help you. The only thing I can do is say Bible verses. I don't have the gifts you have. This is all I have for you, just for some reminders. So I go through walking around Meyer, and then I'm just looking up. Can't see nobody in their eyes because I refuse to. And then this fellow just walked past us and whispered, we got him. And then suddenly in that moment, me and my mom, I just started thinking. And me and my mom, we walked to the middle of the Nile, and she did a prayer over me. And she was like, essentially, boy, you got to get it together. Because you just got to get it together. Because I ain't finna deal with this for the rest. You know, black mom, when you get a little too fed up. Okay, I ain't finna deal with this for the rest of my life. Okay, I know you powerful. I know I'm powerful, our family. But you wake up. Snap, snap. Let's go. Prayer here. Nadiie, wake up. And then I just start replaying what they're saying in my head. We got him. No, you did. I'm still here. And that's all it took. A little bit of that childlike naiveness. So then I get a little, my little shoulders brushed off. My mama said, hey, the one thing you can't let them do is show them you're afraid. So I just started looking at everybody in the eyes. I'm like, okay, hey, you, come here. Let me look at you. And then everybody just kept running away. You, come here. Let me look at you. You. Just all I did. I'm talking about just bluffing, terrified. But look. But I noticed no one was coming towards me anymore. During this time, Native Americans were helping me cultivate an energy. Like, these Native elders would be waiting in line. I ended up going to Walmart, and the Walmart story happened, where everyone started looking at us as soon as we walked in. During Walmart, there was way more elders, like Native, from a full Native drip. The symbols, everything, colorful, waiting in the lines in the self-checkout, walking past me, looking at me, then walking. But I'm like, oh, I'm in like a battlefield. Like, people, they fighting for me. And it ain't a battle of bronze and fists to cuffs. It's a battle of frequency. Who gonna get the Holy Son of God? I'm talking about they playing tug of war with me. Then I hear on the intercom, Ra, go home. I said, oh my God. Ra working on me because I never knew up until this time. Hawk just circling the sky, going real low now, down to where the light post is. I'm not talking about that low, where the seagulls usually be in the parking lot. Now the Hawks were that low. Hawks was be all the way up there. Hawks is like, Nadiie, wake up. Wake up. It's everybody, wake up, Nadiie. Everybody fight for me. Fast forward. I'm in my own home now. I've been targeted. I'm going even harder with gathering. Now I'm by myself, seemingly. No family to lean on, no mother to pray for me. I'm really out here now, raw dogging life. And I start intensely holding more gatherings because I said, I'm not going to allow this magic and miracles to just go to waste. So every job that I worked at, I try to recruit at least one person to come to my gatherings. My old friends, I would form a group chat and call it The Way. And that's where the name for this TikTok page came, The Way. I named the group chat The Way, and I had an iPhone group chat. Android's allowed. I got Android now, so I feel y'all. Androids are now allowed. And I would text in The Way group chat, come on, let's do another gathering this day. And some people thought I was doing an album listening party. I thought you were going to be playing music. And all they hear is do-do, do-do, do-do. I'm like, okay, oh my God, this is a whole Native tribe. I didn't know I was going to a powwow, Nadiie. I thought you were going to play some music. But people stayed, and one person named Jeff Miller convinced me to take my teachings online. He'd been to a few of my gatherings. I met him at Verizon, recruited him because I showed him a miracle. What was that miracle? Well, how miracles work is we attract them. It's facilitated. And I told people in the group meeting, when we were all introducing ourselves in the training in Cleveland, I'm a spiritual teacher and I have a hawk totem that flies around and follows me. And this is what I do. Everybody was so amazed. The balls on this kid to just come out and say he's another child of God. And then to make a bold claim like that there's a hawk, a magical hawk that follows him. I said, y'all want to see? leave the group outside. We look up above the building, and lo and behold, there's that hawk. And everybody was like, you weren't lying about that. Were you lying about? No, I wasn't lying about anything. So that blew everybody's mind. But it was that's neither here nor there. Jeff just got done arguing with his girl. I did not know. And I just sensed the frequency on him. And I said, hey, looks like you just got out of an argument. Do this, and this, and you'll feel better. Jeff started looking at me like the cat in that little meme video that tasted something good. I was like, whoa, eyes big and bulge. How the heck did you know? And that actually kind of helped. I said, I told you I'm spiritual. He said, okay, Nadiie, I don't know what you got going on, but I'm going to follow you. So then I added Jeff to the group, the weight group chat. It's like, dun, 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 dun. New team member on your team. Let's go. I got a new character to play with. Let's go, like the video game. Jeff on the team now. So I added Jeff to the group chat and went home and had another gathering. And then Jeff came about 2 or 3 before he said, okay, Nadiie. Okay, count how many of us is in this house? Okay, that's a nice amount, about 7, 10. It's cool. Billions of people on this planet. You actually are holy. You actually have gifts. Bring them to the world. It took me about 2-3 months. I didn't get it. I was like, God, why am I struggling with this idea that Jeff is giving me to bring my teachings to the internet? I don't care about the internet. I didn't use social media. I had one because my high school girlfriend told me to make an Instagram. That's the best of the most I got. And then God just gave me a question. You say mystery schools are in, the ancient times, and they're a mystery because they didn't want the people to abuse the knowledge, but Nadiie, where's the best place to hide? Boo! Plain sight? I don't hear an answer back. Oh, the best place is plain sight. You're trying to hide. Especially in a world where there's just lies. Oh my God, everybody's a liar around here. None of these spiritual teachers are really spiritual. I'm a real holy child. I really got targeted. I really did all this stuff. The ones that are really real are old or they're just rare. I can really blend in because no one's going to believe me. Let's go. And the ones that do believe me, they're going to have their life transformed. That was my whole philosophy for coming online. So I said, bet, God bless, best place to hide plain sight. All right, let's go. In true numerology fashion, the symbol of 8. 8 months after I started posting on TikTok, my first video went viral. How to properly use sage, Palo Santo, and crystals. And that, kids, bring us to today. That, kids, bring us to today. What is the moral of this story? Know thyself. I was always going to connect with you. I was always going to connect with you. I was always going to tell you this story. I was always going to reveal this. I was always going to be here. Because this is what I've always been doing. And when I was comfortable with revealing this, when I was comfortable with myself, yeah, now we're here. That leads us to today. So, this is a story of a child who follows himself. A child who follows his shadow and finds out his shadow is him. And I've been living in this skin. And from this living of who I am, the spirit realm speaks to me. God the source is louder than ever. And that's why on July 1st, God told me to make an ebook titled God's Plan for Humanity, A Message from the Mountaintop, which includes the 3-day course that I've been teaching my students and teaching myself for years. Testimonies on my page, on my recent posts, and click the link in bio and get the ebook. God, I said 10 minutes, and I look at the clock, and it's almost been over 2 hours, okay? But time isn't real. By the will of source, that resonated with you so much so that you're like, okay, I'll get the ebook. Okay, God, let me see what you got going. Let me get my life transformed too. And if you do that, if you click the link in our bio and get the ebook titled God's Plan for Humanity, A Message for the Mountaintop, may you please DM me or email me a testimony and a review. But yeah, I like that story. That's pretty nice. I haven't done that in a long time. By the will of search, I was visualizing. But I'm gonna have to head out. I'm probably gonna post this live on our YouTube page. Is that you click link about to get that as well. But I'm probably gonna post this one. But just a powerful one. But how do y'all feel about it? You said that was beautiful. I'm very grateful. Thank you. Mwah. By the will of source, I helped your painting. That's why I did it. So many questions. Yeah, they need to know. Okay, yeah, I'll post it. You convinced me. But yeah, a lot of your questions will be answered if you get the ebook. Let me click link in bio. But yeah, I would love to converse with you. I can't wait for you to see it. Ooh, I am excited. I will definitely be checking it out. Thank you. I am so grateful. Yes, invest in your soul spirit in the same way you invest in your hunger and lifestyle. It's very, very powerful. But yes, I really gave you that story. All because you were painting. So I was like, let me paint with you. And my painting is through storytelling because we can paint the visualization. So I very much so appreciate you and yeah. So I'm probably gonna have to end the live because my wife is probably like, where is he at? But I can't really articulate what that meant to me. Yay! You deserve a unicorn. You deserve a unicorn. Yes. When you get the ebook, DM me. We'll exchange numbers. I learned not to let my inner child die, and we gotta make friends as quickly as children make friends. That's how you change the world. So yeah, get the ebook and let me know when you got the ebook. And when you get the ebook, we'll talk. I'll send you my phone number. I'm serious. Peace. Happy wife, happy life. Perfect. I love you. Mwah. This unicorn is for you. Peace.